A woman on TikTok went through a breakup and she decided to create a song about it. This is her way of grieving the end of a 3.5-year-long relationship with her boyfriend, who convinced her, she says, to move from LA to Texas. And after they moved, she had drained her savings. She drained 3.5 years on this relationship. He decided that they have nothing in common and they needed to go their separate ways. She was a wreck over it and turned to TikTok for some solace. Let's take a look at her music video.
Here it is, guys.
Imagine you live in LA with your boyfriend and everything's going amazing till he says, babe, I want to move back to Texas to be closer to my dad. So you give up half of your career, quit your improv troupe and have a goodbye party. Take off months of work, deplete your savings to pay for movers and drive to Texas. So worth it for
The cat is so on brand.
that wants a future with you because he said so. So you spend a month waiting for your shit to arrive, and then another month moving in and building furniture and stuff, and you're so happy till he comes back from a family vacation, sits on your couch, which just arrived in the mail, and hands you a note that says we have nothing in common and we're incompatible. Oh no. How did I not know this? This whole time, 3.5 years of happiness, we've been incompatible this whole time, and that we have nothing in common for 3.5 years. How did I not notice? Wow, what a surprise. Thank you for informing me that this whole time we had nothing in common. So you back up your car wherever you can fit it, just getting your crying too hard so we get to pack it for you, and then you drive to Florida to live with your mom.
So now you have the whole story. This went incredibly viral. Many, many millions of views. It resonated with a lot of women out there.
So she's in an improv troupe, which answers a lot of questions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. They met in LA. She's in an improv troupe. This woman's name is Sprightly, and she has a social media following for her music. Mm-hmm. And she used this creative outlet to tell her breakup story. And, you know, a lot of the details, not really relevant. A lot of women watched this and thought of their experience being a forever girlfriend. And this is a term, a relatively new term for women who end up in relationships with men who are non-committal, but they make promises and they convince you and they say eventually, someday, finally, maybe I will pop the question. Sometimes it's a forever engagement. Sometimes you're a forever fiance, where you got the shut up ring and you're just kind of planning a wedding for 8 years. And some people thought that she should have realized before making this move that this relationship wasn't going anywhere. But other people thought, like, this man needs to be in jail.
I will first point out that my first thought when I saw this was, this only exists because of like we just talked about the evils of AI. This only exists because of social media, because 20 years ago, if this had happened, she would have written this into an amazing screenplay, which would have become a movie. Okay? It becomes an exercise in strange narcissism to make this song about this horrendous experience that you had. So instead of a delicately written, elegantly acted movie, it becomes a weird song.
I wouldn't watch the movie. I wouldn't watch the movie, no. No.
She should have hired Taylor Swift to write the song.
To be honest, she seems super annoying, but I don't know. Some people like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Phil, you have complicated feelings about this.
I feel terrible for the poor woman. I don't know. I mean, just the fact that she was kind enough to like hide the guy's face
Yeah.
gives me the inclination that like she's a good-hearted person.
Yeah.
she could have been like, throw this guy under the bus and blah blah blah.
Tagged him in
And
it.
she
Yeah.
might have been justified if everything that she's saying is on everything that she's saying on its face is true. Then, she would have been totally justified in being like, F this guy, and be like, well, we dated and all these pictures you were in and you took them, so F you, I can put them up here if I want. This is what happened. Screw you,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, I feel terrible for her if, he's like, I want to move back to be with my dad, and she follows or goes with him and spends all the money and stuff. I mean, if he was going to like leave her, he should have told her in LA.
Yeah.
And been like, hey, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And if she's like, oh, I'm going to come with you, he should be like, no, you're not.
That would have been the moment.
That would have been the
It's just
good
break it
person
off.
thing to do.
He did it with a written note, like
Cowardly.
The next the current generations, people are having a really hard time having those uncomfortable
So
conversations.
non-confrontational.
It's just everything about that dude was gross. Like, or everything that dude did was gross.
Everything we heard about
Yeah.
him so
She
far.
she even gave him a cool alien head. She could have given him a baby emoji face rather than an alien head. Thoughts, Mary?
This was down bad behavior. Okay, here's the thing. Obviously, he was in the wrong for not telling her, hey, I'm moving and I don't want you to come with me.
Yeah.
This is the end of this relationship. He should have been a clear communicator, and he should have taken the initiative, if it was unclear in any way, to let her know that this was not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he did her dirty for not doing that.
Yeah.
However, even without him saying anything explicitly, I think the message was quite clear. And she should have seen the trajectory of this relationship before she drained her life savings on moving across the country for this guy.
I am more sympathetic for her.
Who had never made any act of commitment to her. You should not do that.
Yeah.
You should not do that. And I saw a lot of people saying similar things. And stories like this just make people more and more cynical about the possibility of finding love as well. We have a 20 from the Manic Mustache. Late as usual, but apropos to mind-blowing news. Thank y'all for being the sanity in the pop culture that keeps the voices in my head entertained. And thank you for continuing to be professionals. Stay toxic, my friends. Thank you.
We are here to play this song and give you something to listen to at work.
Eating the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat, eating the dogs, eating the cats, eat the cat.
I think part of it is like, look, the good stories that put your partner in a good light don't make it to these types of
Well,
videos.
okay, sure. But it's funny, like, in the beginning of the social media era, everyone would say, don't believe what you see on social media. It's a highlight reel. People only show their best selves. The situation has entirely
Yeah.
flipped. The only thing that people want to show on social media is their lowest, like, rock bottom
No,
moment.
I mean, look,
them crying in their car on TikTok.
Plenty of influencers are still posting their pictures, out at the beach or at resorts, and their life is one big vacation. But those are, like, people can clearly see that type of personality now for what it is. This feels somehow more real to people.
Yeah,
Even
definitely.
if it's just as fake.
Well,
Not fake, but even if it's just as... Have you ever seen the videos where they show, like, a woman... It's always a woman. I'm sorry, ladies. It's not misogyny. It's just... They show a woman
It would
crying.
be fine if it was misogyny.
They show the woman crying on a video with, like, a song playing over it, and then somebody's like... reenacts it where he sets up the camera, he sets up his phone, he double taps the screen to focus it in the right place, and then sits there and starts crying, and the music doesn't start playing until he sits down, and suddenly the music changes and he color corrects it so you can see exactly how it starts. It's all fake,
Yes.
in a way.
But the story, details aside, is very real, and it's something that a lot of women saw and resonated with, and that's something we should talk about. I think the general consensus is shifting that, yeah, hookup culture definitely went too far. It's destructive for people who want to be in relationships when the norm is just casual sex, right?
Yeah.
But the more sinister factor in modern dating that is less talked about is serial monogamy. and people just getting in multiple long-term relationships, not knowing how to be single, being so uncomfortable with any level of solitude that they cannot manage not being in a relationship for any period of time, which is another form of using people.
Yeah.
Really. And it's also possibly, you could argue, worse, because you're wasting someone's time, their precious time that they're not going to get back, rather than wasting just one night with someone, right? So that's why people are so angry at this guy, or at least who they believe him to be. Obviously, we don't know the whole story. But this is really just a disgusting thing to do. And what should have happened years before this is possibly his father or her father saying, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you either commit or you stop wasting my daughter's time.
Yeah.
Or stop wasting that poor girl's time.
A good role model would be a huge influence here.
Yeah, a man-to-man confrontation that clearly this guy is incapable of having because he
Fathers
broke
don't-
up with her via letter.
Fathers don't sit down with boyfriends anymore and say, what are your intentions with my daughter?
Yeah, but now I'm seeing all of these tweets from women who just think that love doesn't exist. One of them said, no shade, but prioritizing love has never benefited a woman, ever. Another one,
Source?
another one said, what was it? I think they said, this is a strong case for women in their 20s to do whatever it takes to make friends with women in their late 30s, because this move would have been killed in the idea phase. Another one said, never quit your job for a man, never ever deplete your savings for a man, never ever ever move somewhere just for a man. I will scream this from the mountaintops. There needs to be something in it for you that is more than just him. And a lot of women saying similar things. You should never go out on a limb for a man under any circumstances. They didn't offer like a conditional statement there. Never commit, never do this for a man if he doesn't commit. It was just in general, like never do anything for a man. Only look out for yourself. It's every man and woman for herself, for himself.
There is a certain amount of value in the, like, if he's not committing, like if you're not married, like,
Yeah.
maybe it's not a good idea. Like
Yeah.
if you're married, then obviously it's like, look, you guys are one. You guys
Yes.
have, you guys have committed your lives together to each other. Then you sit down and you figure out how you're going to do it, whatever. But like if you're just dating, like that door is still open. So he could split, she could split. Like, so I mean, I'm not saying never, but if you're going to do it, you better be real sure. You know?
I mean, even if you're engaged, engagement
Yeah.
isn't marriage. That is also possibly something that could fall apart. And I agree with those statements, but they're not saying it for the right reason.
No, they're not. They're saying because they don't like men.
Yeah, exactly. They're saying never do this or that for a man because men are worthless. You don't need one. But then women are still left after being lied to thinking, oh, if I don't need a man, why do I want one?
Yeah.
Like, what value does that add to my life if everyone keeps telling me that I don't need a man for anything and I should be
There's-
self-sufficient in every single way, emotionally, financially, physically? Like, why do I still want
Yes.
this relationship? It doesn't compute.
Is there an issue with the fact that two people were together for that long and it took till for all of this to happen for them to apparently both realize that they have nothing in common and they're completely incompatible?
They had nothing
People
in common.
change.
Nothing in common was just an excuse. He just wanted to leave. I imagine that he was sleeping around.
You think?
I think he went on that trip and he was.
The family vacation.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the straw that broke the
Not
camel's
watching
back.
that. I don't want to hear about that.
You know what I
story.
think happened on the family vacation without her? By the way, going on a family vacation, you've been together for 3 years
Yeah,
and she's not invited. That's crazy. But on that family vacation, I think that's finally when they had the intervention moment and they were like, dude, this is
commit her.
crazy.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.